Hello ladies and gents, this is another video brought to you by Ants Hood, and today I'll be connecting the Wakooshi S6 nest to my Camponotus Nicobarensis, or my nicos. Will I make a car crash of it? I think you'd be surprised to hear. No, I don't. So let's jump straight into it. The first thing I notice is when I put these connectors in the top, they're really loose, as you can tell. And with the amount of knocking about that I do, they'll fall off. But what I did notice, if you connect them from underneath it, it's a lot tighter fit and they actually stay in place. So I would recommend that. This was pretty much all of the connecting ports. So I strongly recommend that if you're going to connect up a nest, you do it like that, because otherwise potentially they could come off very easily, so be mindful. Now, I do apologise for the camera angle, guys. I won't lie, I am no camera guru. I am just an average ant keeper like you, just making videos. You know, I use my phone and all that malarkeys. So I apologise now, but hopefully you won't see too much of my greying hair, which shows my age. I've decided to connect it here, even though I don't really have the space on my desk. The reason for that is, I want to make this the junction of 3 different areas, so they're forced to go into this nest if they want to get anywhere. I'm going to connect it to the outworld, which I've just disconnected here. So if they need to go to the outworld, they have to go through the nest. If they want to go to the outworld, which is up on the shelf, which with the tubing going up to the top of the page goes to, they have to go through the nest. If they want to go into the old nests, which hopefully I'll be able to get rid of at some point, they have to go through this nest. The whole point of that is if it makes it the junction, they're forced to go in there, and then they can actually say, hey, this isn't too bad, and move relatively quickly. Do they move quickly? I'll let you know later on. So as you can see, I've disconnected the outworld and I'm just disconnecting the nest now. And to tell you the truth, it went relatively easy. Grey hair, look how grey I'm going. Jeez. So it's relatively easy, to be fair. I think I'm getting the pro at this disconnecting malarkeys and not losing massive amounts of ants. But then again, I do make a boo-boo later. But it's only a little boo-boo compared to my normal boo-boos. I mean, we've seen how badly I do. As you can see, I'm blocking the end up with some cotton wool and forcing it into the tube with a pokey to make sure that the cotton wool doesn't fall out, which has happened to me before. I am getting better at this, I swear. I mean, it's only took me, what, like a load of years, but I'm getting there. That's the main thing. Well, I've sped it up to make it a bit more interesting. I will take this opportunity to say thanks to Nitatoru for buying this S6 nest for me. Yeah, I thanked you in a video, and there was a great response from the community saying thank you as well for helping me give me content, so thank you. But anyway, back to the video. As you're about to see, I'm going to connect the new nest to the old nest, and as soon as I do that, they flood it straight away and start exploring. Probably more due to panic and vibrations than it is actually a curiosity to explore it, but hey ho. Now if you look at the top, I need to shorten this and I have to very gingerly cut it while there's ants in there without harming them. I do actually pull it out the bag. I don't kill any ants, which is great, but it was a bit nerve-wracking at this point because obviously I've got live ants in there, and I very quickly managed to connect it up, which is great. But look there at the bottom, I forgot to put cotton wool in that tube, and because of that, before I even noticed it, ants were escaping left, right and Chelsea. Jesus, there's my ugly mutt, I do apologise. They were escaping left, right and Chelsea, so yeah. I didn't get many out, to be fair. Not all of them escaped, but it was still a pain. Look how grey I am. But saying that, they were maybe going grey, but I've not gone bald, so that's the main thing. I've sped this up ×4 just to get it a bit quicker. As you can see, I start policing up all the ants until I finally realise that it's open, which is just about now. I think I didn't even clock it was open until that point because I'm just stupid. But there you go, now I plugged the end. So, you know, I did stop it in the end, but it took me ages to realise I hadn't plugged it and I felt so stupid. But that's the only car crash of this, which is a refreshing change. I stopped the video before connecting the last part of the nest up, and the reason for that is that the ant Canada nests were elevated and I couldn't really make this tubing any longer because of the lack of space. So what I've done is removed the hydration trays off them and put the nest directly onto the desk. The reason for that is so it brings it down level, so it's not a strain. There goes a random ant, didn't even clock that till later when I was playing with my keyboard and it jumped out on me, but hey ho. So now it's all connected, and this is the 3-way bit I was talking about, connecting to the outworld, to the old nest, to the outworld upon the shelves. Putting it all on the main route like that will hopefully encourage them to use the nest. And to tell you the truth, as you can see from here, they're already flooding the nest anyway and exploring it a lot quicker and a lot more in numbers than I would expect from normally connecting it all up. And you can see here me just policing the last of the ants up that managed to escape during my antics of connecting them up. So this is how it was after connecting it all up, and this is how it is now, right now. So as you can see, I've connected it up and they're actually quite busy in here. I think other than when I first connected my own nest, this is the first time I've actually actively gone into a nest so quickly. They have started moving the brood into there, but not a lot. Now, one thing I did notice about this nest is the humidity was always high. I've not actually humidified it yet, and currently it's sitting at 86% in the bottom tray. That's quite high, to be honest. But equally, they're in there and they seem to be happy. So, yeah. And this is the old nest. As you can see, I've still got a lot of pupae and larvae in there and stuff like that. But what is interesting is the amount I've got as well. They are doing better. Fingers crossed I'm going to get the boom that I used to have, especially in this new nest. But as you can see, the majority's moved out. I've not seen the queens since I've connected it up. Could be because they're in the Wakooshi nest and I haven't spotted them yet. Sorry for the light cutting across, guys, but I am trying to move these and I'm shining light on them. And as you can see in this nest, the older nest, which I'm trying to get them out of for ages, they're filling out in numbers, but they're still in there quite a fair bit. I think I've got a long time waiting. I might end up disconnecting the heat cable to this to drop the heat a couple of degrees, but the only issue with that is that you all know I've got my leaf cutters now, and I'm keeping the ambient temperature of the room between 24 to 25 degrees. Now the reason for that is because I don't want to heat my leaf cutters, because it will cause condensation in the nest and I want good observation of them, generally speaking, but also to make good videos for you guys going forward. So if I do take the heat off, I'll drop it a couple of degrees, but I don't think it'll be enough to actually force them out of the old nests. I've said it before and one last time, thanks again Naturu, I really appreciate it. But I also need to thank my Patreons, Adrian, Antantix, Anton Rock, Anti Matus, and new supporter David, PJ Grant and Wakooshi. Your support is appreciated. If you want to check out Patreon, there'll be a link below. And thank you to you guys, of course, because you guys keep watching these videos and keep giving me the incentive to carry on. So thank you to you guys too. But anyway, I'll stop talking rubbish. That's it for me today. Hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you in my next one. Bye-bye for now.